bullied and dumped on. We gon' leave you beat up, bullied and dumped on. We said we only rock with Mavericks. If you a clone, then step off the canvas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of season 19 of The Box Score. I am your host, Noah Berkowitz. We started off strong and get ready to build on that momentum tonight because we have quite the episode for you. We've got the NFL, we've got college basketball, but first, we're going to start with some international beef. That's right, I'm talking about the Four Nations face-off. Joining me to recap the most entertaining hockey in recent memory is Cam Veal and Evan Sharrard. Cam, come get us started.
Well, I, for one, am so glad that we finally got that best-on-best hockey tournament. Yeah. And I was not disappointed, okay, maybe with the ending, because as we know— You were ready
for the U.S.
Of course. But as we know, Canada won 3-2 in overtime with Connor McDavid scoring that beautiful goal. And I gotta
say, wide open,
yeah, we can talk about the defense all day, but I'm here to talk about Canada. Oh, yeah, Evan will. Canada played great hockey, as much as it pains me to say.
Yeah.
But they're a skillful team. They're a fast team. If you look at these goals here, they're getting the puck to their point players. Nathan MacKinnon with a beautiful snipe. I mean, you can't really stop a line that's Sidney Crosby, Nathan MacKinnon, and Connor McDavid. And the games were contentious. There were 3 fights in over 9 seconds. You can see here Matthew Tkachuk and Brendan Hagel. And I gotta say, this game had higher stakes than most any NHL game that I've ever seen since anything.
And it's got people talking about whether it should replace an All-Star game in the future.
I don't think it should. I think it should be like an every 2 years type of thing. Keep it special.
Kind of World Cup-like or Olympics-like.
Exactly, because we are getting the Olympics next February.
Right.
And we are going to get the World Cup of Hockey back in 2028, which was— They took that away, I believe, in 2016 because there was something going on with Gary Bettman and the players. I, for one, am just glad we're getting the best on best that we deserve. Hopefully, we can get more countries in. I, for one, want to see the Czech Republic, Kazakhstan.
I wonder why you want to see the Czech Republic. Yes.
I'm just saying, there's some really good players. Even Denmark, my man Lars Eller's out there.
Yeah.
I want to see my team.
Yeah, I know you have your OV biases and it's whatever. But
hey, she didn't even say Russia.
Nah, listen. They've got their own hockey thing going on. But Evan, you have a similar but a little bit of a different take on this.
Yeah, I mean, this tournament, as Cam said so well, was fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean
it was good hockey.
It was great hockey, and it was hockey that you don't see except in the playoffs, but you don't even see it in the playoffs. There was something that happened in baseball, in the World Baseball Classic, where it just kind of felt different.
I mean, it's a great example, too. As someone who is not an avid baseball watcher, it's not my top sport, same thing with hockey, I can remember vividly the call of that Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani at bat.
Yes.
I mean, it was tense. There was something on the line.
Absolutely. Not only that, but the national pride that these players have, I mean, you can't strip that. When we talk about college sports as well, when you're an alumni of a school, you're an alumni of that school. When you're from somewhere, that's where you're from. You can't change where you were born.
Right.
And I just thought it was amazing to watch hockey in the middle of the year with playoffs ahead for many of these teams. And we saw what we saw. It was incredible.
It's something that the NBA could take advantage of, is doing something that incentivizes players to want to play.
I mean, heck, the Olympic Games was incredible this past summer, and watching France and the United States play was primetime TV, must-see, and France wasn't even a team that was considered on the same level as the United States.
Right.
But it got Gershon Yabusele a contract back again in the NBA, and there are players that you would never see, and I think, Cam, like you were saying, opening up to Denmark and to Germany and to all the other countries that be getting involved with some NHL players, but a lot of them, like ECHL players that are playing internationally, back in.
Yeah. There's something different about playing for your flag. Brady Tkachuk said it himself. This was the most exciting game he's ever played in. Matthew Tkachuk said the same thing, and he played in the Stanley Cup final. He won the Stanley Cup, and he said it meant more to him, and it's also just refreshing to see the players, hockey fans and non-hockey fans alike, be so excited for hockey.
Listen, I love to hear it, but thank you both. Now, switching gears, we're going to head to the triple monitor where a little bit of drama is brewing in Boston. Now, the Red Sox recently acquired Alex Bregman, and safe to say, Rafael Devers was not too cheery. Here for an update, I'm joined by Briggs Loveland and once again Evan Sharrard. Briggs, what's the deal with Devers?
Well, Noah, the deal is that Rafael Devers just, I think he's taking a lot of pride in himself in playing that third base position, and rightfully so. He's the guy that the Red Sox picked. They picked him to be the franchise player. He's the only player in that roster that has continued on with the Red Sox from that 2018 championship team. But the fact of the matter is, Noah and Evan, is that the best way for the Red Sox to win the division, because I think they can. I think they can win this division. Baltimore didn't get better. Tampa Bay didn't get better. Toronto didn't get better. Their only chance to win the division is playing well against the Yankees, which they do. It's going to be with Devers at designated hitter and Bregman playing third. Bregman, Gold Glove winner this year, or last year, at third base. He plays well in Boston. And Rafael Devers is such an offensive powerhouse in that lineup. You have to keep him in the lineup. And statistically, Evan, he is one of the worst third basemen in the league. He ranks 103 of 103 in defensive runs saved. And you talk about his comments they made. He made some comments earlier that he just wants to win. His only focus is winning. He's happy. I think that deep down inside, he's still a little peeved about it all. But I don't think Red Sox fans need to really worry as much. I think that the Red Sox are going to be just fine. They're going to be a dark horse with their starting pitching now. Garrett Crochet, Walker Buehler, Lucas Giolito's coming back. I think the Red Sox are going to be just fine.
Sure. Yeah, I'm with you on that at least. I think the Red Sox will totally be just fine. But a couple of things. One, I agree with you. Rafi has not been a good defender at the major league level at any point, really. He's got an incredible arm, but it's just never really accurate. He doesn't make errors every game, and he can occasionally look exceptional defensively. But I do want to challenge the point that they need to put him at designated hitter. I think they can totally get away with him playing third because they sort of did it when they won the World Series in 2018 and were the best team in Red Sox history and the best team in baseball, and they looked it the entire way through, clobbering teams. And the only times that Devers wouldn't be playing third is when he was DHing and Eduardo Nunez was coming in because they were playing a left-handed pitcher. Nunez also wasn't a very good defender at third base. They struggled defensively on that side of the field, even though they won 108 games. And so if you do put Bregman in at second base, which I think a lot of people have been talking about, I think it looks all right. And so you're going to see some of these defensive highlights on the screen. This is how Devers looks at his best. And he does play the position at a major league level, but like you said, Briggs, at what cost defensively?
And with this lineup is that compared to the 2018 team where they had a powerhouse of a lineup, this lineup is not going to look the same. They need to get every single opportunity to win games.
Sure.
They were one of the worst defensive teams last year. This year, it's got to change somehow. You've got to put Bregman at third where you get that sure opportunity. If a ball comes his way, you know he's going to make it.
And Bregman was a Gold Glover. Noah, that's all we've got right now. Back to you guys.
Awesome, guys. Thank you for keeping me in the loop as always. We're going to head to the hardwood after Caitlin Clark declined to participate in the NBA All-Star Weekend. Decision left some people upset and others saying that she made the right choice. But with me to talk some ball is Veal, Sam Bowen, and Olivia Holub. Cam, why are people so up in arms about her saying no?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say I completely agree with her saying no, and I can understand why they are upset. She is the face of the WNBA.
Yes.
She is one of, if not the reason that the WNBA has spiked in popularity in the last year. And it's understandable to want to see her compete against guys like Steph Curry, the same way Sabrina did in the All-Star game last year.
Right.
But I gotta say, I completely understand why she said no. She said that she wanted to make her first All-Star game appearance with the WNBA All-Star game. Right. I can completely understand why you don't want to be in the position where you are just in your rookie year. You haven't gotten the chance to play in your own All-Star game. It's in Indianapolis, for the record.
Or for her national team.
Exactly. And you're being put in this position where you have to elevate the NBA that has so many times disregarded the WNBA.
Well, so that's the point you're making, is the fact that it's almost disrespectful that the NBA has repeatedly doused the WNBA in whatever juice and thrown them to the side.
Exactly.
But now as soon as they need like a little bit of a ratings boost, you got to call on Caitlin Clark because she's such a broad appeal.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So I see where you're coming from. Sam, you've got a similar take.
Right, I have a similar take. I said with Fox News when Rob Parker did that interview, he was like, Caitlin Clark and the WNBA should feel obligated to be part of the NBA.
Right.
And I was taken back. Why should Caitlin Clark, because she's the face, feel obligated to be part of the NBA?
Right.
I think it was definitely the right choice. I don't understand why fans are mad. If you're a fan of Caitlin Clark, you know her brand represents being a woman playing basketball. Why should she be part of a team where she's 1v1 with a man? Whether it's Steph Curry or not, I just don't necessarily agree with that take.
Right.
You know, as a fan of her, I'm like, I'm going to let her do her path. She has plenty of endorsements. She doesn't need the money. You know, Ice Cube just asked her to be part of this big three game. Like, she turned it down, $10 million, get rid of it. She doesn't need it. She's got that endorsement with Nike. She's happy with Nike, and she's happy with what she's got.
Right, and at that, too, it's like, if you're Caitlin Clark, what are you getting out of this All-Star weekend that is not just putting you in the crossfire for men with Twitter fingers to just say, oh, why is Caitlin Clark at NBA All-Star weekend? Stick to WNBA All-Star weekend. Right. When, if anything, she on her own is bigger than NBA All-Star weekend was.
She's unbothered.
Yes.
She's unbothered.
Exactly.
The haters and the people can say what they want to say. No matter what, she's going to still be the face of the WNBA.
Right, exactly. So you're going to add on to this a little.
Yeah, I just echo kind of everyone's points. Like, yes, it would have been amazing. It would have been fun to watch, but I would have watched it without Caitlin Clark. I didn't watch the three-point contest. Who cares?
Right.
Like, it's the NBA All-Star Weekend is so bad that I'm like, okay, yeah, but they had an ulterior motive. Having her would have driven up views. It would have been so entertaining for everyone to watch. But I think, again, this year, the WNBA All-Star Game is in Indiana, and I think that's a perfect debut for her to make her All-Star game at home. Like, she's going to be comfortable. It's just going to be great, and it's less. Caitlin Clark does not owe it to the NBA to play or do the three-point.
Well, right, and on top of that, like, you take as an example, the WNBA has never asked LeBron James to play in the WNBA.
But imagine the outrage if Steph Curry was asked to do a three-point contest in the WNBA. The Twitter fingers would go crazy.
But nobody would ever think of it. That's the thing. Nobody would
Yes.
ever say, I need LeBron or I need Steph Curry to be in the WNBA.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It's disrespectful.
a lot of what the WNBA has been growing organically, making sure to grow through their own players and their own brand. I completely agree. There's no reason for them to try and pander to the NBA audience. But guys, you're great. I loved it. I absolutely love it. But we're going to hear more from them later. First, we have to go to a quick commercial break, but stay right there. When we come back, we've got the old LeBron debate, and our field team was out at TD Garden talking to some rowdy hockey fans. We'll be right back.
And when I arrive at my destination, I'm gonna kill Bill.
Okay, cutting. Sorry, can we get some of this?
Where in God's name is the gaffer's tape? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Casey, and we're the National Broadcasting Society.
Come out to some of our weekly workshops, or work on some of our sets.
Explore the bigger picture with NBS.
We'll see you there.
All right, let's get another take. Camera, sound.
Hi, I'm Mary Malloy, the host of Speechless, and you're watching the Emerson Channel.
Back to episode 2 of the Box Score. Now, for everyone who watched the NBA All-Star Game, the absence of LeBron James was more than obvious. Joining me to talk about the impact of LeBron opting out of the game is Olivia Holub and Everest Leach. Now, Olivia, you think LeBron is being a bit hypocritical?
Yes, I definitely think he's being a little bit hypocritical. Obviously we want to see LeBron play, and I kind of don't disagree with him for opting out. You know, he's a veteran. He's played for a while, and let's be honest, the All-Star games, they're bad. Like, it's not worth the risk of getting hurt just to play in the game. So I understand where he's coming from, but also, like, he is still the face of the league. Like, he needs to play. You play a couple minutes, you still need to play. Like, just opting out kind of felt like, I think it was also kind of felt like a message. I don't think if he meant to give the message, but it was a message of like, hey, your top players don't want to play. Like, I think it was just like a big message, but because again, he is the face of the league, he needs to play. Like, I don't know, he needs to be there. People are going to watch him. If he's not there, again, views are down.
Yeah, Olivia, I totally see where you're coming from there. I think there's a lot of truth in that, but ultimately, I'm going to push back a little bit, and this is going to be a take that some people are going to get annoyed with. They don't want to hear it. LeBron James is 40 years old, and this isn't the first All-Star game he sat out, and it probably won't be the last if he keeps playing. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. He is 40, and the people who say that doesn't matter, they're just normalizing this unprecedented longevity that LeBron has. He really doesn't need to play, and the fact that he's so criticized for not playing in an All-Star game in year 22 at age 40 kind of speaks as a testament to the player that he is and everything he's accomplished, that it's still such a big deal. And might I add, his main goal is still to win the championship. Yeah. That is still what LeBron is focused on, and it's not like he's taking every other game off this year. He's only sat out 4 games all season. So he wants to play, he wants to win. If he says he has to rest, maybe he can go about it a little bit better, but it's his decision, and I don't think it's that big of a deal. Can we cut the guy a break? I mean, he's given so much to this league already. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, I just feel like, again, it was kind of a little last minute. I had a feeling he knew that he knew he wasn't going to play. Yeah. And I just feel like it coming out, I think maybe All-Star game,
let him know
like Sunday.
Like before the day of the game. Sure.
Exactly. I think it was just a little late, and I think that was like the big fuss about it, like let people know. So,
yeah. I mean, that's totally valid. That's all we have for now on LeBron. Sending it back to you, Noah.
Thank you so much, guys. Now, going to the gridiron. Just last week, the commissioners of the Big Ten and the SEC said that they wanted a change to the college football playoff seeding format. That got us thinking, what should the committee do? With me to talk about the potential of change is Everest Leach once again and Evan Sharrard. Now, Everest, what does a potential change look like, and how is that going to affect things?
Yeah, so the potential change that they're looking at is really involving the idea that the top 4 conference champions will get an automatic bye in the college football playoff. That was a huge point of contention when we saw how this past playoff
Absolutely. You saw teams like Boise State and Arizona State.
Arizona State getting a bye. As we see Boise State playing here, got torched by Penn State in the first game that they played. Arizona State put up a fight against Texas, ultimately lost. And so the committee...
Controversially, though, it was a great game.
It was a great game. It was an unbelievable game. We'll see some highlights from that up on the screen later. But all in all, the committee and mainly the Big Ten and the SEC are saying, hey, we need to just structure this. The top 4 best teams, the highest in the ranking, get those byes.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where that take comes from, but I mean, how does that affect the little guys then?
Right.
Like and
that's where there needs to be a balance and there needs to be context, because I think a huge issue of this committee, even with this new college football playoff, they can't pick one ideology to stick to.
Right.
Sometimes it's about the games on the field. Who do you beat? Sometimes it's about the legacy and the aura that a team has. Like, do we put Alabama in no matter what? And they pick and choose where they're ranking Ohio State versus where they're ranking a Boise State if they wouldn't have gotten into that top, that top spot with the conference championship. So it just comes down to context and figuring out what works best, because I want Arizona State to be in the playoffs.
Listen, I'm going to cut you off though, because
you gotta guarantee seeds.
Yeah.
But also, I think, and Everest, I was so against this when they were talking. Oh, let's open the field up even more.
Sure.
Okay, maybe. And here's why I actually think you could. What if you instituted a play-in where you have guaranteed? So every single Division I conference champion gets a shot to go and play for a national championship. And then those teams play against the higher seeds. You're getting close to March Madness. You're not having 64 football teams play.
No,
that
can't happen.
And not only that, the quality is not there.
That's right. But that way you still are guaranteeing that the smaller conferences still get the national audience and they're getting that exposure.
Which they deserve if they win the games on
Absolutely.
their schedule. Yeah.
And right here, we're going to see Oregon and Ohio State. This was an example, actually, because even though this was a blowout, and I think to some people's shock, Ohio State, all of these highlights, as you guys look at these at home, they're all Ohio State highlights. Oregon was consensus #1 team in the country. They lost Ohio State lost to Oregon on a last-second controversial play where they just couldn't get inbounds to call a play in time. Clock ran out on them. They lost the game in Oregon territory. Anyway, that's besides the point. This is a 1 versus an 8 seed.
Yeah.
Well, the 8 seed won the national championship, folks.
Yep. Ohio State should have never been.
Ohio State should have probably been the 2 seed. Anyway, I'm thinking that if you expand this thing to where the top 4 are the top 4 teams overall in the country, and then the top 4 become like 1 seeds do in college basketball. You expand it, you have all the conferences, top teams get a chance, and then it seems more even in the first premier round.
I love the idea. I gotta tell you, if this benefits anybody, it's probably the biggest school in college football. It's Notre Dame, because they don't have to win a conference championship to get a first-round bye anymore. Guys, thanks so much. In some NFL news, Ravens kicker Justin Tucker has received allegations from 16 different massage therapists of sexual misconduct. The NFL has opened an investigation into his actions, and earlier Tuesday, Ravens GM Eric DeCosta said the allegations are, quote, serious and concerning, but indicated that the team will wait to make any decision on his future. With me to talk about the situation as it unfolds is Samantha Bowen. Now, Sam, the NFL has finally stepped in, but is it enough, and where do we go from here?
No, I don't honestly think that it is enough. I think we're constantly getting information slowly. We're getting information slowly that's released. Like, the investigation is still ongoing, and we're still processing it. And we're happy that the league came to us in Baltimore to talk about the situation. But like you said, when is it enough? Right? We've got 16 accusations. We've got, over the past 4 years, people are starting to release it. Apparently, there's accusations starting with his rookie year. I think it's a little bit all over the place. It's a long-term issue. So, and we've seen it before. We've seen it before. So,
Deshaun Watson.
Watson, you know, he was accused in 2020, and then he was suspended 2022.
And the $5 million fine out of his $350 million contract.
And 11 games he was suspended for, only 11 games.
Well, right, and so that begs the question is, like, what does the NFL has the precedent, and despite the fact that Deshaun Watson realistically is lucky to even still be in the NFL, still being paid, despite the fact that he was charged in civil court and settled outside of court. What are we doing with Justin Tucker? Why is it taking so long? Why are we, as the Ravens organization too, I bring up the Ravens because you saw them in the mid-2010s with Ray Rice, how quickly that situation evolved, and the Ravens took it upon themselves to cut Ray Rice after the video of him beating his partner at the time got released. Why, with these allegations, is it taking so long for the Ravens organization not to do anything with Justin Tucker?
And, you know, Justin Tucker has been with the Ravens for a very long time now, and I think, you know, he's one of the best, as they say. He's one of the best, and, you know, it's, you know, arguable. But he's underperformed this year, and the thing is, I think the Ravens are not ready to let go of him. And that's what I think that they need to do for, you know, for everyone. I think for the NFL and for the people.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that at one point or another, there has to be a point where we set guidelines. Otherwise, we enable abusers and people who engage in this.
You need consistency. If you're going to suspend one person, you have to do it to the other with the same rules.
Yes, I totally agree. Sam, thank you so much for being with us. We're going to head to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, Cam Veal will give us an update on the Champions League, and the Jets are looking for a new QB. Again, we'll be right back.
All right, coming back in 10 seconds. Ready, camera one. Camera one, get a wide shot of the entire thing, and in 3, 2, 1, take it. Talent cue.
Welcome back to Emerson College. Emerson
Camera
trails
4, get a shot of the players coming across the court.
10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point. As
Camera 2, close upon the person shooting.
Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away and score this game.
Camera 1, get a close up, follow them over.
Emerson trails WPI 10 points. 10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point as the team finishes their timeout.
Camera 1, close up on number 33.
Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away.
Follow the ball, follow the ball.
Welcome back to the box score. Now, Cam Veal is waiting in the wings to give us her inevitably fiery updates on the Champions League. Now, Cam, why don't you take us through what's happened so far and what's yet to come?
Thank you so much, Noah. I am delighted to say that the Champions League round of 16 is back. The best soccer in Europe is happening, and I, for one, am so glad to see my beautiful Arsenal in the league. We are looking at some great matchups right now. Amazing teams, Bayern, Dortmund, Barcelona. But the real surprise here is that there is only one Italian team from the Serie A, and that is Inter Milan. Juve was knocked out by the Arsenal's new opponent, PSV. And in surprising fashion, the Belgian giants, Club Brugge, knocked out Atalanta in an aggregate score of 5-2. Noah, I gotta say, I'm a little confused here. The Italian giants are usually big names. Milan should be here. I don't know. It's really confusing. Another giant club that isn't here is Manchester City.
Well, so I'm going to tell you, I was just about to ask about that because you see teams like Liverpool, you see teams like Aston Villa, but where is Manchester City? I mean, is Pep washed?
I would have to agree, personally, and I might be a little bit biased, but that's okay.
Fair enough.
We got to see the matchup of Real Madrid and Manchester City again. Wonderful games, or I should say game, because the first one was very exciting, and then the Spanish Giants thrashed City 3-0. And
it was tough to watch.
It was a tough watch, and we saw Pep scratching his head once more.
All right, I'm gonna ask you two questions very quickly. First of all, what's your game of the round of 16? What's the one game to watch?
Oh, that is a difficult question.
Because I've got my pick. I think Bayern versus Leverkusen is going to be fiery.
I see you, but I raise you one Madrid derby.
Okay.
I think Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, that is going to be an amazing game because not only does it have repercussions in the Champions League, but it tells you a lot of the fate of La Liga as Barca, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid stand between, I think, 2 points within each other, which is an interesting bet. And I'm looking forward to see what the games shake out as.
Yeah,
I have my own picks.
So I know you've got your own picks. This is the last question I'm going to ask you before we come back is who's your winner? Who's your I'm going to pick them to go all the way.
Do you see my smile, Noah?
Don't say it.
Do you see my grin? Do you see my beautiful necklace right here?
You're ridiculous.
Oh, that's right. The Gunners, they're going all the way, baby.
They're going all the way to second place in the Premier League behind my Reds. Let's go, Liverpool, baby. You'll never walk alone.
I think you're going to walk alone out the studio right now because Arsenal, we're going to see them right here on the Champions League, lifting the trophy. Bukayo Saka, my beautiful star boy, I love you. If you're hearing this, I will give you my hamstring.
Oh, wow. Okay, listen, definitely one of the takes of all time. But Cam, thank you so much. For the first time this season, we're going to go out into the field where our field correspondents River Caraballo and Rico Brill talked to hockey fans outside of TD Garden before the Four Nations final. And the fans were definitely passionate, guys.
Hi, I'm Rico Brill.
And I'm River Caraballo, and we are outside the TD Garden at the Four Nations Face-Off Final, waiting for puck drop between USA and Canada.
Tensions are high, and these fans are ready. Let's hear what they have to say.
Do you prefer the Four Nations Face-Off tournament over the NHL All-Star Game?
Hey, honestly, I got to say, the All-Star Game has always been better than any NFL, NBA, MLB, whatever you got. But this is something special. So, yeah, I think I'm going to say I prefer the Four Nations Face-Off over the All-Star Game. USA, baby!
I'm not a sports fan at all. At all. I was just listening to the radio today, and I went, oh, my God, it's going to be such an international, it's going to be a different night. So I've made so many Canadians happy tonight, and Americans, because somebody has to start just making fun.
Easily. We made hockey, and the NHL took our sport, but only gave us 3 teams or 2 teams, however many. So, yes, we're going to prefer this because we're going to win a medal tonight and bring it back home to our country where it belongs.
Dude, they should do this shit every year. The first time in 9 years. Are you kidding me? USA Canada, I think it was the most viewed hockey game in like 10 years or something. Like, this is great. They should do it every year.
Yes.
Yes, by a mile.
There was booing of the national anthem in the first game. Are you going to boo the American national anthem tonight as a Canadian fan?
Yeah, obviously. I'm going to get my get back.
Respectful gentlemen. Respectful gentlemen.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
I will not be personally because I'm not going to stoop to that level. I don't care. They want to do it to us, we'll do it right back.
I don't know. I think we should because they did it to us. But you know,
it's a fair point.
I mean, but you know, if I don't want what happened to them to happen to us, so we'll see.
Maybe bad karma, yeah.
I think it's gonna happen either way, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it.
No, I am not. I'm not Canadian, nor am I American. So.
Okay, so no booing for you.
Who do you think is going to score tonight for Team USA?
I got Austin Matthews, first goal scorer. I got that on my parlay. Everybody put that down. And I got Jack Eichel too.
Hey, Austin Matthews hasn't scored all tournament. It's got to be AM.
Who do you expect to score tonight for Team USA?
Austin Matthews, of course. It's got to be Austin Matthews.
Matthews.
Who do you expect to score for Team Canada?
Crosby, McDavid, hopefully McKinnon, maybe.
Yeah, probably Gretzky. I think he's going to come off the bench and he's going to come in out of the stands into the ice and score.
And you know what? I agree. Are you guys excited to go back to regular season hockey after this?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we live in Boston, the greatest city for hockey in the world, so can't complain.
Yeah. Let's go Bruins. Yeah.
Do you mind telling us how much you dropped on your tickets?
$1,500.
All right, respect.
Yeah.
A whole lot of money.
Thank you so much. Back to you in the studio.
River and Rico, thank you so much. Now, looking forward to hearing from you guys again soon, but let's head to One Jets Drive, where the new front office and coaching staff are looking for the answer at QB for Gang Green. Everest Leach and Sam Bowen will join me to talk about the best approach for the Jets this offseason, and we'll have to convince probably the most diehard Jets fan they know, me, what they should do. Everest, let's start with you.
Yeah, so there's a lot that I think you have to take into consideration when you are examining what the Jets should do here.
Yeah.
This organization,
like the 20 past years of not making the playoffs?
That's what I'm alluding to.
Okay.
Very nicely. They've been super unstable with this whole organization, with this position over the past 20 years. There's an intense media there, and like in New York, they get after you if you're not good, if you're not winning. So they need to hit on this next quarterback. And
it does. It has
while
to be
you
a win.
can, you can wait and draft your guy, who we'll get to in a little bit, I think there are some options that are in the league already that you could pivot to. A Justin Fields, as we're watching highlights, who played for the Steelers in, albeit limited time, didn't look that bad. Only 25 years old. Maybe a guy you could kind of hope to get a rejuvenated career
Well,
out.
so like that's what I'm gonna talk to you about, because like if you're the Jets right now, you're thinking, okay, you're not gonna draft, this QB class is not good enough where you're gonna be picking a guy at number 7 if Shador, if Cam Ward are both gone. Even though I'm not a huge Shador Sanders, I think he's more NFL ready, but I think he has less upside than a guy like Cam Ward. But you're gonna tell me that Justin Fields, who could be a great bridge, but also have the upside, I mean, it's hard to sway me away from that, but you're telling me other things.
No, I think I'm on the path of the Justin Fields. I say they sign a one-year contract and decide to choose a QB next year. I mean, you have Cam Ward and you have Sanders. That's the two people that they're looking at, you know?
Right.
And, you know, before the Jets, you have the Titans, and you have the Giants, and,
and the
you have
Browns.
the Browns. Exactly.
Yeah.
All people that need quarterbacks.
And the Raiders. The Raiders absolutely
Oh
could
my
take a
God, they
five.
could take a quarterback before anybody.
The Raiders could take 5 quarterbacks.
So that's 4 people fighting over 2 people.
Right,
you know?
exactly. So you're saying wait another year.
I'm saying
go for a guy like Drew Aller.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about Drew Aller.
I got a little touchy there.
You got a little touchy. Now, I'm a big Penn State fan.
Okay.
You know, I love Penn State.
I'm going to judge you silently for that.
Yeah, it's okay. You can judge me silently or you can judge me publicly. I'll take it.
all right.
You know, I'm a big
Go
Penn
Irish.
State fan, but that's true. But the thing about Drew Aller is I truly believe that he performs poorly under pressure.
Right.
You know, and he's not even in the NFL draft class yet.
Right,
He's not there yet. So honestly,
there's more development.
There's
to be
more
had.
development, and he needs a lot of work. And I think that's what coach is going to do this season for him.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I want my Sam Darnold reunion.
That's what I was going to go there, because this is the other guy already in the league, is a free agent. It would be such a winning culture move if the Jets did this, because it would almost single-handedly
surround him
everything
surround him with the
afraid
talent.
to do.
Give him the tools. Sam Darnold redemption arc would feed families.
He had a good season last year, and I understand people are going to say, oh, it's just he's a Kevin O'Connell merchant.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell made him good. But what I would say is the one guy who kind of had his number this past season would be his head coach now.
Yes.
Aaron Glenn
Yes,
shut Sam Darnold down. He
absolutely.
knows how to tell them what not to do.
I think Aaron Glenn is the perfect coach for a guy who has a story just like Sam Darnold, like a redemption arc. I love it. I'm hoping that the Jets can get it together, but thank you guys so much. We're going to leave it for my sake.
Yeah, for you, I think that's, a couple more weeks under the
I'm just
belt
letting you
and
know,
you're a happy camper.
Jets haven't made the playoffs since I was 6 years old. That's
tough. Okay.
We got close with Ryan Fitzpatrick, but it's going to happen.
As a New Yorker, I'd love to see the Jets.
Trust me, I would too. All right, well, listen, thank you so much. We're going to leave it to the guys in Florham Park, but in case anyone from the Jets is watching, I love you, and you're the real American heroes. Aaron Glenn, I'm speaking directly to you. But speaking of American heroes, Evan Sharrard is over at the Triple to talk about a Canadian hero for the latest edition of Evan's Film Room. Evan, come and break it down for us.
Thanks, Noah. Welcome to the Film Room. Today, we're taking a look into the hockey world. This is the Four Nations final. Canada, United States, tied at 2. Here we go. Overtime, 11:47 left. I want you to watch right here. Mitch Marner wide open, shot in front, score, game over, and it's the best player in the world, Connor McDavid. Now, that was really quick as hockey can be, and I'm talking very fast too. But watch this on the replay. Right over here, 2 American defenders are going to commit back here, and right there, Austin Matthews has to come out to Mitch Marner, which leads a wide open spot in the slot for Connor McDavid to fill. You're going to get another look at it. Wide open, nobody on the right side because both of them went to the backside boards in the trapezoid area behind the goaltender, and that is what opened McDavid up. Mitch Marner, one of the best passers in all the world, one of the best I've ever seen, able to finish off a pass right into the wheelhouse of the best player I've ever seen with my own eyes. Connor McDavid wins it in any way other than this would have been less than perfect. This was perfect, although like Cam, I was rooting for the United States. But I was really rooting for a good game. And that was a good game right in the city of Boston, where we are filming this right now. Just kind of incredible to watch. And here's Jordan Binnington getting very happy about it. Evan Sharrard, Film Room, the box score. We'll be right back after this commercial. Stay tuned, folks.
And when I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
What? Oh, okay, cutting. Sorry, can we get some of this?
Where in God's name is the gaffer's tape?
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Casey, and we're the National Broadcasting Society.
Come out to some of our weekly workshops, or work on some of our sets.
Explore the bigger picture with NBS.
We'll see you there.
All right, let's get another take. Camera, sound.
So yeah, it's like Emerson's very own late night talk show. We've got games like Jimmy Fallon, and we're hot like Jimmy Kimmel, and we've got guests. I'm gonna talk to them. You can talk too, I guess. There's a live studio audience, and they're just gonna laugh at everything we say, and it's gonna be awesome. It's just this never-ending cycle of positivity and community and late night content. I'm gonna wear a suit. You should probably wear one too. What do you think?
I think you should drink up, because it's closing time.
Welcome back to the box score. Now, the women's college basketball world has been shaken up by the allegations of sexual abuse and misconduct against TCU player Sedona Prince. Here with me to update the current situation and what happens next is Cam Veal and Olivia Holub. Cam, what's happened to her and what does this all mean?
Well, it's clear that these allegations have been brought forth against Sedona by a current partner. They both allege that they were victims of abuse and assault, and this has been a recurring theme for Sedona following her from 2019 until now.
Right, this is not her first instance of sexual assault allegations.
There's been more than, I believe, 3 allegations against her. Some are ongoing lawsuits and some charges have been dropped, but it's clear to see that there is something going on in her relationships. There is something that is illegal in nature. There's something that is evil, I would say. And this all started when one of her ex-girlfriends posted on TikTok an alleged abuse during their trip to Mexico, saying that she had black eyes, she was a victim of assault from Sedona.
Right.
And this has just painted a really like dark aura over her as a person and a player, and it's very upsetting in multiple ways because she gained so much notoriety from supporting and pointing out the differences between women's college basketball and men's college basketball, and now it just seems to be that she is enjoying the double standards that she fought so hard against.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you want to add on to that?
Yeah, and I think just also taking away from like she has all these allegations, I think it would be a huge risk for the WNBA to take her on as a player. I think, you know, she's to go on the player side and her scoring, you know, she's putting up good numbers this year, but she's also about to turn 25 when she's playing against like 19-year-olds.
She's in her seventh year.
Seventh year. She's been playing since 2018, which is crazy work. But like I think it's just like a big. She's a PR nightmare for any WNBA team to take her on because she has all these allegations against her, and I just don't think like we should not put her on like a pedestal. Like, oh, well, you know, she can still go to the league. Like, this is serious issues that she shouldn't be rewarded to.
I completely agree.
Right, and on it relates to that conversation me and Sam were having earlier about Justin Tucker is we're not trying to reward this type of behavior. Why give this 25-year-old who is supposed to be in her prime now a one-way ticket to multi-million-dollar contracts?
There are some WNBA fans who have spoken out. There are some who are reaching out to the commissioner saying they will not support her addition into the league, and I feel like that tells you a lot about a sport, especially a women's sport where domestic violence is such a big issue in the community.
Right. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to speak with me. Thank you so much. Now, going from college to the pros, we're going to talk about the Anthony Davis injury and whether we can say if it's already the Luka Doncic swap was a swing and a miss. With me are Olivia Holub and Everest Leach. Now, Olivia, what is your view on the way this has gone down?
I think this trade was like awful.
I mean, I'm sure, but can you call it a failure already?
I think you can right now until the end of the season. I think, first of all, it's just what were the Mavs doing? You're trading a 25-year-old, like, look, you're trading a face of the league, a 25-year-old, who, for Anthony Davis, who's 31 years old.
And you can clearly see that's his injury. That's
exactly. He got hurt. A non-contact in the first game. Like, how is he already gonna get hurt? During the first game, like, I think it's insane that they wanted to risk their best player, who's gonna become the face of the league, could possibly become the face of the league, for a 31-year-old who is injury prone. Like, the only way where I could see this possibly be worth it is if the Mavs were to win this year, which it's not looking like it. So I can't understand why the Mavs decided to take this risk.
Can we call this trade a failure already? I mean, it's so soon after the trade. Obviously,
I know.
The world exploded after this trade happened. I mean, like when Shams tweeted it, everyone thought he was hacked.
I think you can say it's probably a failure at this point because
we're only, 2-3 weeks after this trade?
Sure, but he played one game and he was good up until his injury where he got hurt. Now he's out. I mean, we see the highlights here. Anthony Davis can play, but even if he would stay healthy for this entire season and maybe the Mavs go on a run, there's such little precedent for what the Mavs did working out. We're talking about trading for a 32-year-old player and expecting him to lead
a 32-year-old injury-prone player.
Injury-prone player.
Like trading for 32-year-old LeBron.
Exactly.
No. It's a different animal.
One game, he's out 3+ weeks. Like, it's just like
indefinitely. And you look at the precedent, it's maybe Kevin Garnett is 30 when he's traded to the Celtics, and he sort of leads them to the championship, but there's so many great players around him.
Right, exactly. But like I think the other precedent is Kevin Garnett getting traded to the Brooklyn Nets, and don't even remind me. But listen,
it just wasn't going to work out. All right, now
thanks so much, guys. Now we've reached our final segment of the night, and it's a fun one. Everyone is mad about something these days. I mean, have you checked the comment section on Twitter? Here to vent about the things that are making them mad is Everest Leach, Evan Sharrard, and Veal. Now, Everest, I don't know what you could possibly be mad at. Your Eagles just won the Super Bowl, and there's a lot of a lot of yap coming from you because of it.
That's true, and we did win the Super Bowl, but I actually want to go on the record and sort of defend the guy we beat in the Super Bowl.
I know you're not going to...
Patrick Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes' defense is crazy.
It's not, because here's what's happening. So many people think it is better for your legacy to lose early in the playoffs than to lose late in the championship game, in the Super Bowl. That is ridiculous. The fact that Patrick Mahomes, he played bad in the Super Bowl, admittedly, but people saying, oh, he'll never surpass Tom Brady because Brady never lost like that in the Super Bowl, never played as badly as he did. That's true, but Tom Brady also lost in the wild card round and the divisional round 5 times.
To the Jets, by the way.
To the Jets, one of them. Mahomes has never lost in either of those rounds. You can go to the NBA, where a lot of Jordan stands thing is, 6-0 in the finals. Jordan never lost. No, Jordan did lose to the Pistons and Celtics in the first and second rounds. You can't, you have to make it to a championship to lose there. I don't get why people don't get it.
I'm going to say, though,
It's
like
ridiculous.
your Jordan argument, he is 6-0 in the finals.
Yeah, he is, but he also lost before getting to the finals so many more times than LeBron.
But he has more wins than LeBron at the biggest stage.
Sure, I can do math. Yeah.
Well, right, but does that not have any weight?
Sure it does, but I'm just saying there's context. There's all this context, and nobody gets it, and it makes me mad.
All right. I'll like stew on it.
Bro, if you make a championship game, that's great. Like,
I agree.
Regardless,
I agree.
It's better than losing in the wild card round and throwing 4 interceptions.
Yes, I agree. Evan, you're also mad about something.
Mm-hmm.
What are you mad at?
I'm mad about what you guys are talking about right now.
Why are you mad at that? You're
I'm mad about comparison.
This is a great segue. It's a great segue.
Of it. It is not only PSA. Comparisons are bad. Stop doing it. Don't do it with your kids.
Okay.
Don't do it
They
with
do say
anybody.
comparison.
Don't do it with LeBron. Don't do it with Michael Jordan. Enjoy them for what they are, because blocked by James. You're going to see it 500 times. Blocked by James. Blocked by James. Blocked by James again. It's going to come up one more time. There it is. Oh, slow motion. Yeah, it's one of the greatest plays in NBA history. Arguably the best. And you know who else was arguably one of the greatest players, if not the best ever? Michael Jordan. And guess what? I don't care who you think is better. I just care that they're both great and I can enjoy both of their careers and watch their highlights and be like, wow, Michael Jordan was really good.
All right,
and wow, so was LeBron.
The cards are gone. Okay.
I think it's ridiculous.
But can you not admit that comparison is done for a reason?
It's done for a reason, yeah, to figure out what's best.
Right.
But what if that doesn't matter? Like in basketball, as a fan, when you're watching a thing.
Right, exactly. Like when you are debating between LeBron and Jordan, you're saying, oh my goodness, I wonder who's the best. And it gives you something to reach for. You say, oh my God, this new player who just got drafted is going to be better than the best.
It also makes you hate your uncle a little bit more. And is that really something that's more important than reaching for greatness?
Hey, I'm letting you know, personally, I love my uncle.
Yeah, but what does he think about Michael Jordan and LeBron James?
You're going to have to ask him. Ask Trent Walter what he thinks of.
All right, Trent, what do you think, man?
All right, you send him a text at Evan.Sharrard on Instagram. Cam, you're always mad.
You are.
What could you be mad about now?
I'm going to tell you right now, Noah. I'm about to get upsetty spaghetti.
Okay, because you've had a 1-segment break and you already got mad at something?
Like, chill
out.
Yeah. Chill out.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm upset.
Okay.
Because
why?
I don't like it when I talk about my man, my GOAT, sitting right behind Evan, Alexander Ovechkin.
Oh, whoa.
He tossed me that, Evan. That's right. This man, he is a top 3 hockey player of all time.
Oh, wow.
He is the greatest goal scorer of all time. No debate.
Yes. No.
His highlights are incredible. He's the most electric player, I would argue, of all time. In his 16-year prime, nobody was more consistent in the offensive zone than Alexander Ovechkin.
Fair.
He has scored 50-plus goals in it's 30-plus goals in 19 more seasons, and he has the most 50-goal seasons, I think, maybe more than Gordie Howe.
Who's saying that Ovi's not good?
Sidney Crosby. Hey, Sidney, that's a girl's name, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, nobody will ever
I know
touch...
somebody named Sidney that is not a woman.
That's not the point. Nobody will ever touch Ovechkin in goal totals or consistency. If you put him in the 80s, he's scoring 2,000. Gary Bettman. Zoom in on me right now. Gary Bettman if you don't name the Rocket Richard Trophy after Alexander Ovechkin, he and I are going to drive all the way from D.C. to your house, and we are going to take shots on you in net, no pads, like it's the 80s, Jacques Plante style. Alex Ovechkin, I love you. Please let me see you score the record. Whatever, I love you. Okay, I'm done.
Dude, I'm scared.
Yeah, that was a lot.
I'm really, no, I'm not giving him a kiss. Listen, I'm mad I keep getting sentelled on Twitter. I did it the other day. I sent it to the Box Score group chat. It was really, 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 really bad. But for another day, thank you, everyone, for watching. I've been your host, Noah Berkowitz. This is the Box Score. Good night.